Welcome to National Arts. I'm Mike Baker. On this program, we'll go on location to New York City to visit with Tony Award-winning playwright Tony Kushner, whose Angels in America Part 1 and 2, Millennium Approaches and Perestroika, have garnered numerous Tony Awards.
In the kitchen, under the tiles, under the sink.
You want me to tear up the kitchen floor?
Get a shovel or an axe or some tool for dislodging tile and grout, and unearth the sacred implement.
No way! The ceiling's bad enough, I'll lose the lease. I'll lose my security deposit. I'll wake up the downstairs neighbors, their hysterical dog. Do it yourself.
But first, most of us know Bebe Neuwirth for her Emmy-winning portrayal as Lilith on the TV sitcom Cheers. Well, beneath Lilith's steely exterior is a Tony Award-winning actress, dancer, and singer. On tow since the age of 6, Bebe rose to national prominence in 1986 when she won the Tony Award for her portrayal as Nikki in Sweet Charity. After bidding adieu to Cheers, Bebe returned to the stage in the London production of Kiss of the Spider-Woman and is currently starring in the remake of the 1955 Faustian tale, Damn Yankees. In Yankees, Neuwirth plays Lola, the devil's saucy sidekick who returns to Earth to work a little of Eden's magic.
Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. And little man, little Lola wants you. Make up your mind to have no regrets. Recline yourself, resign yourself, you're through.
Can't help but notice, though, how strong the women are in this show.
Right.
Some good role figures.
I think there was a concerted, very conscious effort to make the women into real people, because I think in the original script they really weren't real. The wife especially was not. She was just sort of complaining a little bit, no life of her own. She just accepted Joe back when he came back, no questions asked, nothing. And I think Jack O'Brien, in his reworking of the book, did a wonderful job of making her into a real person with her own life. And I think Lola also, my character, I like to think that the story that I hope to tell with the character is of what could be at first perceived as a sexist character, really just a bimbo, just a sex object, then gets conscious and sees people really in love, really caring for each other, and sees that you can actually help these people. And then she starts to work from the inside, where she actually helps Joe to get back to his old life and get back to his wife and the things that are really important to him. So she's not just doing Mr. Applegate's bidding. She's working from the inside.
She's a very complex character.
I hope so.
Yeah, you have to show a wide gamut of emotion and really drop the whole Lola persona toward the end, almost.
Well, yes, it's that coming out of that just sex objects, that there's more to her than that. It's tricky, actually. It's not that easy to do.
I always get what I aim for, and your heart and soul is what I came for. Whatever Lola wants, Lola gets. No use to fight. Don't you know you can't win?
I watched the movie a lot. I watched Gwen Verdon play it a lot in the movie. My feeling is, if you have the chance to learn from a master, learn from a master, study a master. And that's what I did. And one of the first thing that struck me about the character was her innocence. I believe in terms of virgin, mother, and whore, she is absolutely a virgin, this character. Very much like Charity in Sweet Charity. Even though these women both have very dicey, physical lives, let's say, they are truly virgins, I think. They're really absolute innocents.
Mm-hmm. There's also the old adage about selling one's soul to the devil, and at what price success. And I think that probably has been with us since the very beginning of time.
Since the beginning of time. I think that this is why the show appeals to so many people, whether they know it or not, whether they're aware of the fact that they're, I think a lot of people get taken by surprise. They don't they think, oh, it's an old musical, oh, we'll go see it because it'll be fun, like this. And then they love it. I know even really jaded, cynical theater people go to see this and they love it. They cry and they laugh and their hearts just get taken away. And my belief is because it's really a fairy tale. I see the show as a fairy tale. It takes place in the world of baseball, which is America's sport, which is a mythical sport. Also, as somebody was saying, it's such a romantic sport because there's no clock. You just play. There's no tie. There is no time. You just keep going until somebody wins, and there's nothing imposed on it, And baseball is a very literary sport. There's an awful lot of literature and romance surrounding it. It's accessible to everybody, and the fairy tale aspect. I think people might not realize why they're getting taken away, but just as fairy tales are told to children and it helps them and they enjoy them, I think the same thing happens here.
For baseball, for men, it's a rite of passage because we begin playing at such a youthful age, and it becomes such an important part of our life. That's why this plot's believable. There are people in that audience that would trade their soul to the devil in order to regain that youthful innocence and that totally carefree nature.
That's the point. I cried all the time in rehearsals, just in a bare studio in San Diego, and sitting around when we were first putting the show together. And every time I saw Dennis, this fellow who plays Older Joe, every time I heard him sing "Goodbye, Old Girl," it was very, very moving. But the moment that he picks up his cleats and his glove, it just slays me, and that's when a lot of people get surprised by their first, being moved by the show, because I just see what that is, this older guy, because God, there's that thing in him. Oh God, if I could just smack one out of the park. They'd do almost anything. It's really lovely.
And now your Joe has to go, but he'll come back to you again. So sleep your sleep, old girl, our love will keep, old girl, till then.
It's really cute when you think of your counterpart, Applegate, and all the various press names we give scandals today: Irongate, Irangate, Watergate, and now we have an Applegate. I'm sure that wasn't thought of back then, but I mean, what an interesting comparison.
Funny. I never thought
the whole,
of that. I'll have to
Adam and Eve
tell
thing.
Applegate.
You mean nobody had thought of that? Come on now.
I can't imagine. I mean,
That's
it was written in 1955. Well, I guess Douglas Wallop wrote it in the book, and
it was the first gate, really, officially, right?
That was Applegate.
What's Victor Garber like to work with? You all are
he
a
is
nice duo.
just the greatest. It is so comfortable to be on a stage with him. He has so much in command of the stage. You are just you're in good hands when you're on a stage with him, and he's just such a lovely man. And I have to say, I was in the revival of Little Me in 1980, and Victor was starring in that with James Coco, and Victor, I was in the chorus of that show, and I was one of his Boom Boom girls. And you want to think about synchronicity. He did Boom Boom, that song Boom Boom, this French song. He had a straw boater, and his two girls, Gail Pennington and myself, we had straw boaters. We were little Boom Boom, and I think it's interesting. I sort of feel like I'm his Boom Boom girl again. And the number we do together, we use straw boaters.
Yeah, but you're no Boom Boom girl. You get the best of the devil.
Well, actually,
That's right.
yeah, how
you
about
manipulate
that?
the devil himself.
Of course, I have to you know, do a little something.
You have to sing and dance with
I had
in Two
to-
Lost Souls.
Yeah, so to speak. Right.
Two lost souls on the highway of life, and there is no one with whom we would rather. So ain't it just great? Ain't it just grand? We got each other. Wherever we go, whatever we do, as long as you got me and I've got you, we got a lot because we got each other.
There are some direct parallels here, obviously, with Sweet Charity and Hey Big Spender and the kind of selling song that we've come to know.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But they're tremendously diametrically opposed to Lilith, of course, where it's
Right.
as opposed to a little brains and
Right.
a little talent. It's a
But
lot of
you
brains and a
know
little
what?
talent.
Yeah,
maybe.
but you know what's weird is that Lilith in mythology is the seductress. She's an evil seductress. I mean, do you know about this character of Lilith? And a lot of Jewish mysticism, and she was the first woman before Eve, before Applegate.
Now that does go far back.
Yeah, I think that's kind of interesting that, you know, and actually Lilith Sternin, the character I played on Cheers, did have that sort of flip side where she did do a lot of kind of weird seducing.
She was dangerous,
sometimes.
wasn't she?
She was sometimes. Like she got Sam up to that cabin once and she danced at him and she was on her way to seducing him. I think that's kind of weird.
You liked doing Lilith, didn't you? I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
even mentioned somewhere that you really enjoyed her as a character.
Yeah, I really like her. I really think that, I think she's very sweet. Again, I see her as an innocent. I see her as somebody who's just not, of course this is, I share this with her, so maybe this is why I see this in her, but I see her as a person who's just not comfortable socially and with other people, so that leads her to just do what she knows best, which is analyze and be really, 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 really smart, you know, and very, very honest. And also she lacks an editor in her mind, you know, so she'll just say anything. But I don't think there's a malicious bone in her body. And I don't think, you know, I get a little upset when I hear people, you know, call her, you know, mean or bitchy or this. And I don't, that's not what I'm doing at all. She just doesn't know any better, and she does this stuff. And I think we all know plenty of people who, you know, from college or high school or something, these people who were wonks, you know, or they were just really, you know, so into doing this, and they were just very uncomfortable with other people, and they get misperceived a lot. So I
Think,
have a little affinity
think
for
of
her.
the early...
I'm not nearly as smart as she is, but
After Damn Yankees, what's on the horizon for you?
I don't know. I'm just enjoying what I'm doing
could
now
do this
so
forever.
much.
You're so
Well,
good at it.
maybe.
Yeah.